Welcome back to Obscure Gaming, a segment that is just as obscure as the games I talk about, considering I never seem to update this series much, but don't worry, that's on my to-do list. But let's hop into the subject at hand, shall we? Street Fighter! You guys know I love it, and if you don't know by now, hey guys, I love Street Fighter! Yeah! As such, I'm always looking for Street Fighter games that I may have missed by some freak, horrible, weird chance. In doing so, I've come across a number of unofficial titles that, quite frankly, have made me contemplate suicide. I'm kidding about the suicide thing, but that's pretty fucking grim, isn't it? Welcome to 2012! Today on Obscure Gaming, we'll be talking about a little slice of odd called Street Fighter V Turbo 60 for the NES, and yeah, I know, that name is fucking hilarious. So Street Fighter V Turbo 60 is an unofficial game for the NES with a ridiculous name, said ridiculous name being the only real draw to the game. The game doesn't present any story, though I'd like to think that if it did have a story, said story would be about the developers getting completely wasted and thinking, man, this is the greatest fucking name for a game ever. Get the schnapps! And then everyone vomits. The end. But perhaps this is a blessing in disguise. No story means I don't have to talk about it. But I have to talk about the rest of the game. Son of a bitch. So going into this title, I didn't really expect much from the gameplay, taking into consideration that the Street Fighter games are usually 6-button fighters, but the NES only has the two, A and B, and no, I'm ignoring the other two you're thinking of. So right out of the gate, the game seems handicapped, but we'll talk about that more in a bit, because before you do any fighting in a fighting game, you have to choose your fighter, and holy shit, look at all these fighters! And by all these fighters, I mean look at all these terrible recolors. But we have all the classic recolors, you guys. We got Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Blanca. I think I see Katana there at the bottom, maybe. Pimp Dalsum is in there somewhere. Dennis the Menace with black hair, I think, is in there. We got Jason from Friday the 13th. And Terry Bogard. What the fuck? That's the wrong series. Hold on a sec. Okay, that's not Terry Bogard, that's Guile. Fuck you, Guile. Your theme will go with nothing today. That's right. It seems the game is a tad broken, as when you pick a character, the game decides you made an incorrect decision and picks someone else. Well, at least it does this with some of the characters. And, look, game, I know you have my best interests at heart. Really, I do. But I know what I'm doing. I mean, I've been playing fighting games for many years now. I think I know what the fuck is going on here. This is some top-level play, my friends. Now, the game features two modes of play, a single-player mode and a versus mode. You'll probably just be playing the single-player mode because, let's face it, you're not going to be able to get any of your friends to play this with you. But once you choose a character and get into the single-player mode, for whatever reason, you fight Dalsum every single time for your first match, and I don't know why. But I'm sure that would make Filipino champ giddy. Soon after you begin controlling your character, you'll notice something, though. The game kind of plays like shit. Moving around is a little awkward, but what's worse is that the buttons aren't responsive, as in, you'll hit a button, and sometimes something will happen, but not all the time. And this is bad, you guys. It's also a little awkward that to do special moves, you have to hit a direction like left or up and A and B. That mixed with unresponsive controls equals fuck. Now I won't lie, I did kind of get used to it and adapt, but it's a shame the controls weren't a bit better, because if they were, this game might not have been so bad. Maybe. Well, at least the controls wouldn't be as bad, though the blocking seems completely hit and miss. Sometimes if you hold back, you'll block, and other times it won't happen for some reason. And, again, that's bad. Another issue is the AI is pretty damn cheap. It's like I'm reliving horrible childhood memories of getting my ass handed to me in Street Fighter 2's arcade mode. Memories, huh? God, I hate Blanca. That's all I really want to say about the gameplay, though. It's not that good. But what does stand out a bit better, at least I think so anyways, is the presentation. The game looks pretty good, I think. Taking into consideration it's supposed to look like Street Fighter 2 and this is the NES, it looks pretty good. There are a lot of flickering with the character sprites, but the sprites themselves look okay and animate decently as well. Hell, the backgrounds even have stuff going on. As you can see in Chun-Li's stage, there's... Wait. What the hell is that guy doing? Oh my god, that's the shit nightmares and fanfics are made of. This stage is horrible. What's worse, it's not the only stage where there's background characters doing some shady shit. But yeah, the game looks decent. Except for that guy. That's what we call indecent. I'm tempted to call the cops. You call the cops in this situation, right? That's what you do, right? Call the cops? Public indecency? Anyone? Another thing that's surprisingly okay is the music. Here, have a listen. Not too bad, is it? I've certainly heard worse, and these are decent NES renditions of these classic tunes. Unfortunately, they aren't the full versions of the songs, and they just kind of loop over and over again, but they still sound nice. The other sound effects are sufficient. Nothing overly annoying, but nothing overly amazing or good. The sound effects are just kind of there, and I'll accept that. I mean, they could be really fucking annoying, and that would suck. Overall, Street Fighter V Turbo 60, aside from having a name that basically lets you know how many versions of Street Fighter V we're going to see from Capcom, is a mostly crap game that you can go ahead and avoid unless curiosity gets the better of you. But remember, curiosity kills the cat. But I'm sure that applies to other things as well. I didn't actually look it up, but they talked about it a lot when I was a kid, so watch out. This has been Obscure Gaming. Thanks for watching.